In this class, we are going to discuss about question number 4, exercise 7.2, coordinate geometry. Observe this question. Find the ratio. What we want? Ratio in which the line segment joining the points -3, 10 and 6, -8 is divided by, line segment is divided by 1 point -1, 6. We want what? Ratio. This ratio dividing this, what ratio dividing the line segment, that ratio we want. So we are assuming, let the point A, this one, -1, 6, let the point, this one, divide the line joining B and C. These 2 points are joining and we are getting line segment in the ratio of k:1. We assumed that one line segment joining these 2 points divides by this point in the ratio of k:1. We assumed what? k:1 ratio. So 2 points we are having B and C. We assumed B and C. B is what? -3, 10 and C is what? 6, -8. These 2 points joining, then we are getting one line segment, and this line segment is divided by 1 point. This one we assumed as A. This point A, we require what ratio? This point is dividing this line segment. So we assumed that ratio is what? k:1. Clear? So this ratio is what? k:1 ratio we are having, and line segments points we are having. So we will use what? Section formula. By using section formula, we can calculate this point A. So by using section formula, this point can be calculated as, this one is what? x1, y1, this one is what? x2, y2, and ratio is what? k:1. Then we can find coordinates of this point A are what? m1, x2. m1 is what? K times of x2 is what? This one. So m1 is what? K times of 6. So we can say 6k plus m2 x1 plus m2. m2 is what? m2 is 1 and x1 is what? -3. So what we are getting? 1 into -3 will be what? -3. So we are getting -3 divided of m1 plus m2, k plus 1, comma m1 y2. m1 is what? K. y2 is what? -8. So we can say -8k plus m2 y1. m2 is 1, y1 is 10. So plus 10 divided of k plus 1. Clear? Observe again. Simple. One point dividing this line segment, we require that ratio. So we assumed ratio is what? k:1. Point we are having, point A coordinate is what? -1, 6. But once we are having ratio and line segments and points, then we will use section formula. Then we can find what? Coordinates of point, dividing point. So by using section formula, this A point is what? This one. Already in the question we are having A point. So we are comparing both. Comparing coordinates, on comparing coordinates on comparing coordinates we get, observe, on comparing coordinates, these coordinates we will compare, so we can say 6k minus 3 divided of k plus 1 equal to what? Minus 1. Another one is what? This equal to this one. Another point we are having minus 8k plus 10 divided of k plus 1 equal to what? 6. Clear? Solve for the k. This can be written as 6k minus 3 equal to minus k minus 1. Solve for the k. This transposing towards the left, then we are getting 7k equal to this transposing towards the right, then we are getting what? This will be plus, so we are getting 2, implies k equal to what? 2 upon 7. Value of k we obtain. For this one, minus 8k plus 10 equal to 6k plus 6. Solve for the k. This transpose towards the right, then we are getting 14k equal to this towards the left, then we are getting what? 4. Finally we can say this can be written as 7k equal to 2, implies k equal to 2 upon 7. Value of k we obtain. On comparing coordinates, we are getting k equal to what? 2 upon 7. We required what? Find the ratio. We require ratio. So, required ratio what? K is to 1. Value of k is what? 2 upon 7. 1. So, ratio will be what? 2 is to 7. So, required ratio will be what? 2 is to 7. Observe again. In this question, we require ratio. In the question, we are having one line segment BC. These points we are having in the question, and this line segment is divided by 1 point, and its coordinates we are having minus 1 comma 6. We assumed that point is what? A, and this point dividing this line segment age k is to 1. We assumed age, this line segment is divided by this point A, age k is to 1. We require this ratio. So, first we are using section formula to find the coordinates of this point. Why? Because we are having one ratio. We require ratio, so we assumed ratio age k is to 1, and these points we are having. Once we are having line segments points x1 y1 and x2 y2 and ratio m1 is to m2, then section formula will be this one. By using this one, we are getting coordinates of A. Already we are having coordinates of A. We are comparing both and solving for the k. Then we are getting k equal to 2 upon 7. So, required ratio will be what? K is to 1. So, k value is what? 2 upon 7. So, we are getting 2 is to 7 ratio. So, we can say this point A dividing this line segment in 2 is to 7 ratio. 2 is to 7 ratio. So, required ratio will be what? 2 is to 7. This is the required answer. I hope you understand this question. That's all about this question. Thank you so much.